church.
Yeah.
Just want to say praise the Lord, everybody.
Praise the Lord.
I'm a preacher, and I thank God for the blood. My name is Robert Brown. I was in the United States Army from 1965 to 1967. When I got saved, I went to my bishop, and he knew that I was knowledgeable and knew I had to go to the Army. He said, now you need to get conscience subjector status, because if you go in the Army, we don't believe in killing. So I was drafted and I became a medic for the hospital or either out in the field medic. My story is short. I went to Vietnam and the Central Highlands. And when we came, it was surprising because when we went into Cameron Bay, they put the guys in the trucks to send us up to play cool. They wouldn't give them any ammunition. They just gave them guns. Then once we got up there, they told them, say, now if you run into the enemy, before you take a shot and shoot back at the enemy, we got to call the Saigon to get the okay to fire at the enemy. And you know what, the soldiers, they begin to cuss and everything. I ain't gonna wait for nobody. I was with the 24th Infantry Division, the Golden Dragons. I was drafted, went to Hawaii, and they said your next stop is Vietnam. So when I got to Hawaii, I wasn't supposed to go into a battle situation. They said, Doc, you're not gonna be going because you're a conscious objector. 24 hours before they left, they said, Doc, get your bag, you going to Vietnam too. So I went to Vietnam and they put me with a unit. The first unit I was with, I prayed to God. I said, Lord, please don't let us get into any firefights. These guys are scared. One of them even took his pistol and shot himself in the foot to get out of the field. So when I went to the unit that they transferred me to, and I was thankful that I was with that unit because they were a bunch of chickens, and I didn't want to be with a bunch of chickens. And so I went with the A Company of the 24th, 1st and 14th, 25th Infantry Division. So we go out on patrol, and the surprising thing, when I go out to patrol, I knew when we was going into battle. And when I got to the unit, the first sergeant, he was Sarge Davis. And when I got there, they told him that he was a medic here, he ain't got no weapon. And he cursed and went on off. And I just sat there. Then he came back and he said, Doc, you don't have to carry a weapon, just so you make sure you take care of us. So we was united together. So when we would get in the fight, I knew that we were, and they started fighting. We got through it, and nobody was injured in anything. And I told him, I said, I knew we was going into battle. And the first sergeant came to me and said, Doc, why did you tell me? I said, you the man. I said, the first sergeant was the man. You don't go tell anybody nothing. He's the man. So he said, well, look, Doc, whenever you get the feeling that we're going into battle, let us know. And we went into 2 battles that I let them know, and they went through. Nobody got injured. We came out. But then we had to go to support a unit that was with the Vietnamese soldiers, and they were being attacked by a regiment. And so they notified us, and they was going to fly us in. And they said, now, you airborne soldiers, were airborne. I didn't have no parachute. But they flew us in that helicopters, and they said, we're not going to land. We're going to prep the landing zone. You just jump out and then form a perimeter and then move out. And so I was shocked about that. I said, I never jumped out of a helicopter. So I jumped out, we went on patrol. Then we got into a battle, a surprise attack by the regiment. Once we got into the battle, a bunch of guys were wounded. I was patching up a guy, and I could see the sniper was shooting at me, and I could see bullets hitting in the sand all around me. And I patched the guy up, and the other guy shot him out the tree. So we got the wounded all together, put them to a landing zone. We cleared a landing zone. And so we stayed there for a long time. And I sat there and I said, why? We're here too long. I'm thinking to myself, so they could be getting ready to take us out. So after we got into and finishing everybody get down, we stayed there too long. Company commander, his Captain Boss, said, saddle up and move out. As soon as we saddled up and moved out, toward the end, they opened up on us. When they opened up on us, I went back to the perimeter where he told us, and I saw one sergeant running. I said, what you running for? And I began to see all these bullets hitting through the trees and everything. And I got down, then they said, medic, medic. And they said I did all these things, but I don't remember doing anything. They said I was everywhere. They said, Doc, when they called me, I went and patched them up. And there was one, it was Tom Jones, he was a lieutenant. He got wounded, I patched him up, and he came back out to fight. And we had fought for a long time. It was daylight, and it got dark. For hours we were fighting them. They were overrunning us. I didn't know this, they told me this, but I was busy doing what they said I did. And they were running out of ammunition. And we got to a point where the company commander, Captain Boss, said, pull back to a smaller perimeter. We went back to a smaller perimeter, and that's when I heard them coming in. You've never known what death is, looking it in the face. I was looking at death in the face. I wasn't afraid. I was just like I'm sitting here now. When we got into battle, I'm just like I'm sitting here now. I take care because God was with me. And so when we got into the battle, we pulled back. Before I pulled back, I was wounded. And I was hit. And then he called us to move back. We moved back to a perimeter, coming in on it, yelling and telling, GU, you die, GI, you die, GI. And I prayed, I said, Lord, I don't want to die in Vietnam. Will you get me out of here? And after I prayed that prayer, everything went silent. A unit came and got us out. 17 of my friends were wounded. 35 of us were killed. 17 were killed, excuse me. 35 of us was wounded. And they got us all out. They thought it was something when I just wouldn't go out until everybody went out. But I just want, I've got one situation, a document that Captain Boss wrote about me, and I don't remember doing this, but I want to read it to you. Specialist for class Robert Lee Brown was attached as a medic to the company I commanded in 1966 in Vietnam. A company, 1st and 4th Infantry, 25th Infantry Division, while on a search and destroy mission close to the Cambodian border in the jungle of Vietnam on November 13, we encountered a battalion-sized North Vietnamese force. The battle lasted hours, several hours, and during that time, 17 soldiers were killed and 35 wounded. Our medic, Doc Brown, acted heroically that day, administering life-saving first aid to as many as the fallen soldiers as he possibly could without regard of his own welfare. Although without a weapon and wounded himself, Brown disregarded his own safety and made repeated trips carrying many of the wounded under heavy fire to a more secure area inside the company perimeter. After the C Company came to our aid, and the battle was over. Evacuation of the killed in action and the wounded began. Although wounded himself, Brown refused to be evacuated until he had assist with all the wounded being flown out first. Without respect for Brown's unselfish and heroic action, many more of the men of Company A would have been lost that day. I therefore recommend Spec 4 Class Robert Lee Brown receive the Bronze Star Medal for Valor. Now, I was wounded, and when I was wounded, I had this Bible in my pocket. And I had it in this pocket right here. And a piece of shrapnel, when I was wounded, hit into this Bible. And it's right here in this Bible. Right here. And it saved me from having a sucking chest wound. I just want to say that it was God that blessed me to get through it. There were things that even our lieutenant colonel, he was talking, and I had to guard a lieutenant colonel without a weapon over in Vietnam because they commanded me to do it. I had to guard our unit out in the field where they were fighting, and I didn't have a weapon. I said, I don't have a weapon. He said, well, if they come, just yell. Well, you know what? Nobody came. But I just want to thank God for getting me out of there and those that were alive. And I realize now, when I came home, I had a mission in my mind. I knew that we were hated. They didn't like the war. But I made it up in my mind. I'm going to fulfill my ministry. I'm going to get an education. I'm going to have a family. I have a purpose in life. And I'm not going to let this depress me. I am suffering from Agent Orange. I've got COPD, PTSD, diabetes, heart disease, neuropathy. I got everything. But guess what? They test me and ain't nothing wrong. They say my heart's all right, but I've got heart trouble. They say I can't breathe halfway right, but I don't have to have oxygen. I'm blessed, and I thank you for letting me speak to you because God made it all possible.
Now we can do better than that,
Well,
guys. Let's stand on our feet. Come on, y'all. Yeah, go ahead.
one more thing. The reason I got a Bronze Star is because I had a friend. He's right there, standing next to me, along with Senator Level, when I got the Bronze Star. He was the one that made that possible. It took 3 years to do it. If he wouldn't have done it, I wouldn't have the Bronze Star. But that's all right, because I was just doing my job.
Hey, Bishop, we got a question for you really quick.
Yes, I would love that.
Okay.
I actually, as a kid, I remember reading that article on you in the Grand Rapids Press. I never thought I'd meet you, even though, like I said earlier, we attended the same church, our parents or whatever.
Yes.
But do you remember an episode of Andy Griffith when they was going to do a movie of him because he was the sheriff that didn't carry a gun?
No, I don't remember that.
Why haven't they done a movie on you?
There you go. That's something now we got our work to do.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
So Bishop, I don't know if you ever received
Oh my.
a challenge coin for Vietnam.
Oh, I was thinking, let me put it on.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about, I got to get my hat too, because I was in Vietnam. I'm a veteran too.
Yeah, we got you.
But I want to say they're taking good care of me. I'm 100% disabled, and they take good care of me. I just thank God for it. But just like our brother said here, that if you need help, you get it. I got the PTSD. I run into problems. But because of my wife, she's gone on to be with the Lord. My second wife, my first wife died before that. And she helped me get through this. And I don't have a desire. I get depressed, but I got God to get me out of the depression. I can't stand to hear these firecrackers going off. I can't stand to hear these helicopters flying over. But I'm still here. I'm 82. I'm almost going to be 38, y'all. And I'm thankful to God for what he's done for me. Thank you very much.
And we got one more gift we want to give you.
Oh, man.
We want to honor you with one of our Hero Corner shirts.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we just want to tell you how much we love you and appreciate you. And thank you for all you've done for us.
Thank you.
Now, we have a giant that we can look up on, that we know who broad shoulders that we get to stand up on to get us to where we are.
Yes.
We thank you, we love you, and we appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Man.
Bishop, one more question. Where'd you get them spats and them thick beards? You mighty sharp, Bishop.
Hey,
You mighty sharp. Ain't no doubt.
This is my Purple Heart, and these are my
Okay.
dog tags. I know most of you that's been wounded have a Purple Heart too. Thank you very much. I'm honored to just be with my brothers, my family, my sisters in the Army.
And thank your family. And thank your family.
I thank my family. This is my family here. My grandchildren, my sister. You know, my sister, I never did fight, you know. My sister, she would say, he won't fight you, but I will. So she would and then when I became into the ministry, she said, now, you can take care of me. I take care of her now. All right?
Hey, well, you guys want to know about another? Tell them about the act that you helped pass in the city of Grand Rapids.
I passed through the state of Michigan for the veterans. It took me 5 years to get the bill passed. It's called the Danny Lee Barnes Property Exempt Tax for Veterans. 100% Army-related illnesses can get their property taxes paid. And that bill was passed maybe 10, 20, 15 years ago because my husband was a veteran.
So now, we all talk about, oh man, you got it, man, you don't pay no property tax. But now you got somebody you can thank to help make that happen. See, right here, man, we thank you. I tell you guys, that's why it's so important that we do what we do and we continue to love on our elders and with love and respect. Because you don't know who paved the way. So some of you that benefit from those no property taxes, now y'all should be buying her some flowers. Thank you so much, Bishop.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right.